Good morning. I'm Casey Snow, the San Diego Housing Commission Senior Vice President of Homelessness Housing Innovations. Homelessness shelter beds are an essential component of a multifaceted system that is in place to assist our neighbors who do not have a home. Through recent listening sessions, we have heard from shelter participants that more choices and services are needed, including non-congregate options. Working with the Mayor, City Council, and the City's Homelessness Strategies and Solutions team, the Regional Task Force on the Homelessness and Service Providers, we are making intentional and thoughtful efforts to address these needs. This morning, we are announcing a package of new initiatives. What we heard in our recent listening sessions has informed our efforts. We are expanding client choice and increasing the number of shelter options available. This will address participants' needs, provide a path towards resolving their homelessness, and employ a systems-level approach to addressing sheltering needs of the community. The new initiative will add 363 beds to the shelter system, and we will be implementing a focused homelessness diversion initiative to make available up to 150 beds currently occupied in the shelter system. As our diversion effort connects current shelter participants with alternative housing resources, they will be able to leave the shelters, freeing up the bed to serve someone else experiencing homelessness. We are collaborating with a regional task force on for this diversion effort. We are here at Veterans Village of San Diego today because 165 of the shelter beds being added to the system are on this campus. The beds will include congregate, semi-congregate, and non-congregate options. Out of these 165 beds, the Housing Commission is master leasing 130 beds from Veterans Village. Father Joe's Villages will operate those beds to serve single adult men as well as seniors age 55 and older. The Housing Commission will also be contracting with the Veterans Village to operate 35 beds here for veterans. The individuals who stay in these shelter beds will have access to the variety of amenities available on the Veterans Village campus. An additional 37 beds will be added to the shelter system through a contract with San Diego Rescue Mission. The Alcohol Use Disorder Shelter, previously known as the Serial Inebriate Program, will add 56 beds. This is a collaboration with the County of San Diego, which provides services to participants. Another 105 beds will become available at a motel site that will be converted into a non-congregate shelter. These different interventions are the results of the short-term action plan on homelessness. City Council asked the Housing Commission and the City's Homelessness Strategies and Solutions Department to develop the plan. With these new initiatives, we are building on the progress made in recent years under the leadership of Mayor Gloria and our City Council. Mayor Gloria has championed affordable housing and homelessness solutions for many years. As a housing commissioner, a city council member, a state assembly member, and now as mayor. It is my pleasure to introduce Mayor Gloria.
Thank you, Casey, for that introduction, and thank you to you and our San Diego Housing Commission for your collaboration on a broad range of efforts to address homelessness in San Diego, including the creation of new affordable housing, as well as efforts to work to prevent homelessness in the first place. I'm joined this morning by a cast of folks that made this announcement possible. Council President Sean Elo Rivera, Councilmember Stephen Whitburn. We have a representative from Councilmember Jennifer Campbell's office, as well as folks from our city's Homelessness Strategy and Solutions Department, our San Diego Housing Commission, Tamara Kohler from the Regional Task Force on the Homeless, as well as representatives from Father Joe's Villages, VVSD, and the San Diego Rescue Mission. Thank you all for being here this morning. We've been working for nearly 4 years to build up our network of options available to people who are living unsheltered on our sidewalks, in their cars, in our canyons, and along our riverbeds, and to get them into care and on a path to permanent housing. Since we closed the emergency pandemic shelter at the convention center, we have more than doubled the number of options available to these individuals, including shelter beds, safe parking spaces, and safe sleeping tents. Now, many of those options were always going to be temporary, and we have known for some time that some of these beds in our system would be coming offline. So we've been working with the Housing Commission and our nonprofit partners here today to ensure that no one currently living in one of our city's shelters returns to the street. We are accomplishing that goal. Today we're announcing a series of initiatives that will add a total of 493 shelter opportunities to our system by December of this year, and implement a shelter-focused homelessness diversion effort to free up even more beds in our system. As you heard, but I will repeat, these include 165 beds here at Veterans Villages of San Diego that will serve primarily veterans and seniors. And I want to thank Akila Templeton for her partnership in making this possible. 56 beds at a facility that was once hosted by the County of San Diego's Serial Inebriate Program will now be set aside for folks with substance use disorders, with a commitment from the county to come with supportive services and intensive case management. And 37 beds at the new San Diego Rescue Mission shelter in National City, a regional facility that is already serving some of our unhoused city residents from down in our southern San Diego neighborhoods. Thank you to Donnie D for that partnership. That makes up 258 new beds. We're also expanding our safe sleeping program with 235 new tents. All of these new options will come online by December, meeting the scheduled closure of Golden Hall. And we're making progress on another 105-bed facility, converting a motel into a non-congregate shelter for more San Diegans. Now, these options are on top of the expansion of our safe parking program, which would nearly double this highly successful initiative for people living out of their cars, with roughly 200 spaces on city-owned property near the San Diego International Airport. Now, we're also not only just announcing the expansion of our emergency shelter system, we're also talking about a continued effort to shift to a systems-based approach to addressing homelessness that also looks at how we free up beds more quickly by moving shelter participants into more stable housing solutions. The causes of homelessness are many and complex, and so are the solutions that we must employ. Among the needs that we've identified through talking with those with lived experience were detox beds, sobering facilities for those recovering from or wanting to recover from substance use disorders, beds for veterans, and shelter for our seniors. The expansion of the efforts that we're announcing today reflect those needs and add options to our system to accommodate them. And these additions to our system will mean that we will fulfill our commitment to accommodating the relocation of every resident at Golden Hall and the Paul Mirabal Center on Imperial Avenue. Everyone here understands that these shelter programs are merely stops along the way to permanent housing, which is the ultimate goal that all of us are striving for. And we're making good progress on that front as well. We're turning resources from the state of California, along with local investments, into permanent supportive homes through the state's Home Key program. By the spring of 2025, just a few months from now, the Home Key dollars that we've already secured will create 223 permanent homes for formerly homeless San Diegans. That's in addition to the 360 permanent homes that we're creating through our Bridge to Home initiative. Now, I think you all know that I'm a very impatient person. And like everyone up here, I wish that all of this could be done overnight. But we are getting much more affordable housing built in the city, and we have even more coming in the months and years ahead. So as long as there is one person in our city that does not have a roof over their head, we will not stop as San Diegans to make sure that we address this crisis. Today's announcement shows our commitment and our willingness to work fast in an innovative fashion with partners across the entire spectrum to get the job done, and I could not be happier that we're making these announcements today. With that, this kind of announcement is not possible without the partnership of our City Council, and in particular the innovations that our Council President has really advocated for, specifically the shelter diversions that we're announcing today, of really anticipating ways that we can quickly move people from our shelters into more permanent and stable housing. That has been a hallmark of his leadership of our City Council, and so I'd like to ask him to say a few words. I welcome Council President Sean Elo Rivera.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Sean Elo Rivera. Proudly represent San Diego City Council District 9 and serve as the City Council President. Mayor, that was the perfect way to hand the baton off because we share the same exact goal, and that is to end homelessness on a person-by-person basis here in San Diego and prevent anyone from unnecessarily becoming homeless as well. And when we keep that goal in mind, and that shared goal, we can do incredible things. What I am excited to talk about today is a couple of things. One is a shift in approach, and then two, how we got here. The mayor talked about the way that we made the decisions about the sort of shelter that will be provided here. And what I think was really important is the inclusion of the voices of folks who've lived in homelessness, who are experiencing homelessness now, and the way that they've helped shape the options that are in front of us. Why is that important? Why should folks who are on the streets or have been on the streets have a say in the shelter that's provided? Many of us would say, if I was on the streets, I would take whatever is offered to me. It's a fair question, but then we have to think about these folks as people, because they are people, they are our neighbors. What if you had health issues that wouldn't allow you to access or sleep on a top bunk? What if the experiences that you'd had with violence in the past made the idea of going into a room with hundreds of other people terrifying, and the streets seem like a better option to that? Without having conversations with people who have lived experience with homelessness and are living in homelessness, we will have blind spots, and those blind spots will not only make us less compassionate, but less effective. And so I think that the options that we are putting forward today mark a important step forward in us leaning even more in to hearing from those folks who are most impacted by the homelessness crisis. It impacts us all, no doubt, but nobody more than those who are on the streets. So this is an important step forward on that front. The other thing that I want to talk about here is collaboration, and collaboration in the spirit of being solution-oriented. When the mayor's proposed a shelter in the summer, it was not going to be okay for us just to say no or cut a better deal. That would have been irresponsible. And it's really easy to throw eggs at the ideas that those of us who are in positions of leadership are trying to put forward with respect to homelessness, a problem that's plagued this city for decades. But we have to be solution-oriented. And for anyone who doesn't like the ideas being presented, it is incumbent upon you, whether you are an elected office or a regular resident of San Diego, to put some other options forward. And so what I think we've done here is done multiple things at once, which is the mayor's continuing to work on driving down the price of any shelter that we pursue, to negotiate hard on the city's behalf, and we're not stopping there. We're continuing to bring more options online that diversify the portfolio of shelter that is provided to people who are experiencing homelessness, to make them more likely to accept that shelter, makes them more likely to move through that shelter system and into permanent housing. And you use tools like Tamara with the Regional Task Force on Homelessness is putting forward to divert people who are in our shelter system but don't need to be there. People who are just a few bucks away, or maybe furniture that we can move into their family's house away from being able to move into permanent housing. So when we collaborate with a goal in mind of ending homelessness on a person-by-person basis here in San Diego, and we do it with a unrelenting commitment to be solution-oriented, we can do incredible things. We can shift the landscape in San Diego, we can reduce homelessness, and I believe truly that we can be the city that has done the best to resolve homelessness, not just in California, but across the country. So Mayor, I want to thank you for your partnership on this and your staff. Councilmember Whitburn, for you also being unrelenting in your commitment to make progress on this issue. Tamara, for your partnership. Casey and everyone at the San Diego Housing Commission. When they heard that there was an issue at Veterans Village and that there were beds being unused and space being unused, they jumped on it immediately. And then for everyone else who's participated in our stakeholder meetings, thank you for helping us get to where we are today. Again, far from being mission accomplished, but a really important step forward, and I'm proud to be here. With that, I will turn it over to my partner on the council, Councilmember Whitburn.
Well, thank you very much, Council President. Good morning, everybody. It's really great to see everybody here. Thank you for being here this morning. The 363 additional shelter beds that we're announcing today follow the 161 additional supportive housing units that we announced on Friday. Combined, that is 524 more places where people who are homeless can go to start getting back on their feet. I'm encouraged by the progress that we're making, and we need to continue this progress. And the mayor and the council president and I are committed to that. I'm glad many of the beds here will be filled by veterans and seniors. They deserve our community's support. Our veterans who have served our country should never find themselves living on the street. And our seniors who deserve our assistance should never find themselves without a place to sleep. It is inhumane that older San Diegans, some of whom use canes or walkers or wheelchairs, have nowhere to rest their head at night. Fortunately, with these additional beds, many veterans and seniors will finally get the rest, the care, and the respect that they deserve right here. I also want to highlight the collaboration we see here today between the City of San Diego, the San Diego Housing Commission, the Regional Task Force on Homelessness, Father Joe's Villages, the San Diego Rescue Mission, and Veterans Village of San Diego. I appreciate everyone who has partnered on these initiatives for coming together to make more progress on reducing homelessness in San Diego. And now I'm very pleased to introduce a crucial partner in this initiative, the President and CEO of Veterans Village San Diego, Akila Templeton.
Thank you so much, Councilman. Well, what is most exciting about this partnership is that it will afford us the opportunity to really expand the services that we provide to veterans here in San Diego. And so we couldn't be more pleased that with this project comes an additional 35 much needed shelter beds for veterans. We have long advocated for more veteran-specific services here in the County of San Diego, and for those services to actually be provided by community-based veteran service organizations. Since 1981, Veterans Village of San Diego has served America's veterans and their families in overcoming homelessness, in rebuilding their lives, and reintegrating back into society. So veterans who accept a bed in this space will receive a wide range of services. Many of those services are co-located. So here on our beautiful campus, we actually have a health clinic. There's a full-service dental clinic here. There are employment services, financial services, and even case management assistance that will follow them once they've left the program and transitioned into permanent housing. The primary focus will be on equipping veterans with the tools that they need, not just to transition into permanent housing, but to actually thrive once they find their forever home. Doing that requires community and connection, and that is what we will hope all of our veterans find here. This is not your average shelter. These are not your average shelter beds. As you can see, this is a beautiful facility. It is a community. We recognize that for a brief moment in the lives of individuals who are facing challenges, this will be home. This will be their home. And so we intend to create an environment that feels like home. With that, I would like to thank all of our community partners, the Mayor's Office, City Council, San Diego Housing Commission, the Regional Task Force, and Father Joe's Villages. I'd like to welcome you all to Veterans Village of San Diego. I am looking forward to working alongside you to alleviate the problem of homelessness in the County of San Diego. With collaboration like this, we can truly make that happen. So thank you all, and welcome to our beautiful campus.
No agency can solve homelessness alone. Addressing the homelessness challenge in our community requires collaboration. The Housing Commission thanks everyone represented here today and the many additional organizations we work with on homelessness initiatives. We are now available for one-on-ones or any questions that you may have. Thank you.